Today on the channel, the best of countdowns continue, as today we're counting down my top 10 favorite Marvel Legends comic figures of 2023.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another best of year-end countdown list. And in today's video, we're counting down my top 10 favorite Marvel Legend comic figures of 2023. Of course, we'll be doing a separate video on the MCU versions. A little light on the MCU this year, but we're going to do a countdown for the MCU figures as well. And of course, as usual with these best of year-end lists, this is of course my list. Put your list in the comments down below. Your list won't be wrong, and guess what? Neither will mine, because there are lists. So make sure you put it down below. Make sure you put it in order. That is the hard part. That is the fun part. That is the challenging part. And of course, an interesting year with Marvel Legends. Some of the things I really was wanting came out in 2023. But as a whole, kind of just a middle-of-the-road year. Me, personally, I feel like the G.I. Joe Classified series really stole a lot of thunder for Hasbro this year. That really was the line of the year for Hasbro, I do think. Where traditionally Marvel Legends been at the top of the heap, with Star Wars close behind. Star Wars quite the fall from grace in my personal opinion in 2023. Marvel Legends also a struggle year, but Marvel Legends have already announced some big stuff for next year. 50th anniversary of Wolverine, my all-time favorite, so they're kicking off with a bang with a lot of that stuff. I'm here for that. I'm here to see where we go in 2024. But 2023 we are talking about right now. We're going to count it down. And of course, we're going to start at number 10, work our way to number 1, with number 1 being my favorite Marvel Legends comic figure of 2023. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 10. We begin the countdown at number 10, and number 10 comes to us, one of my most wanted Marvel Legend figures for 2023, as I did do a video in 2022 talking about the most wanted figures for 2023, and this was very high on that list, and we'll see a little bit more of that in this very countdown. But this one was high on the list as it was a Toy Biz favorite for me back in the day. Of course, who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a little fan channel exclusive 3-pack edition of Mr. Banshee. Everybody loves a Cassidy at the end of the day, especially Sean Cassidy and the rest of the Partridge Family really at the end of the day as well. But Banshee, an all-timer for me in my X-Men playing days. I had the first one from Toy Biz, back with that whistle in the back. Not a big fan of that one, but they did improve on that one later on in the Toy Biz, the original Toy Biz run. And this one feels a lot like that one. A lot of the same stuff, the cloth soft goods in between here. Love that we got extra heads for Banshee. You can pick your own head adventure if you want to. He's in that classic X-Men team costume. Wouldn't mind another classic edition of Banshee in the future. Wouldn't be shocked to see that as well. But Banshee, one I really wanted in 2023, and it did not disappoint. And that's why it's coming in at number 10 in my top 10 list. Once upon a time, the great Ian Gillan of Deep Purple once said, "Black Knight is not right. I don't feel so bright." But I'm feeling extra bright here at the number 9 spot, as number 9 comes to us for another fan channel 2-pack. Who is it? Well, from the Avengers, we got Black Knight in all of his 90s glory here. Of course, love the very Cyclops-inspired bomber jacket going on. But one of the key West Coast Avengers, the Avengers back in the day, Black Knight, and of course Black Knight even getting a little bit of a dabble in, of course, the upcoming MCU universe. We'll see where he ends up going there. But Black Knight looks very, very cool. Very 90s nostalgia. Love the chainmail against the jacket. A little bit of old, a little bit of new, a little bit of Knights of the Round Table. Shout out to those Knights out there. Very cool sword going on, kind of the plasma effect. Definitely different than the original Marvel Legends version we got. I think, was that a Walgreens exclusive? I don't think it was, actually. I think I got it at Walgreens back in the day. But a different look, a different take on the character, and I love this 2-pack a lot. Cersei didn't make this list, unfortunately, spoiler alert, but that was also a very good figure there. But this Black Knight, a very cool one, coming in hot at number 9. Continually feeling great at number 8. And once again, we go to the Marvel Legends X-Men side of the fence here for a bit of re-release, but a lot of new bells and whistles with this one, and I have a feeling a lot of people might have this at number 1 or number 2 in their top 10 countdown, but for me, coming in at number 8, it is Spiral. Now, Spiral, of course, part of the Mojo universe. Good friends with Longshot, as we do know. Spiral, an all-timer. Everybody loves a chick with 6 hands and 6 arms. Who doesn't? Oh my gosh, so many possibilities. But Spiral looking very good. The new pinless joints, the updated articulation. No more real, I guess a little gumminess here. That was the one thing that did hold this back a little bit. But a very, very cool figure, especially for those that missed out on the Build-A-Figure, or the figure way back in the day. Not necessarily a Build-A-Figure, but way back in the day. Obviously a very expensive figure. Did get re-released here, made a lot of people happy, including myself. Even though I had the original edition in my collection, I do think this was a great upgrade for this one, but being an upgrade didn't make it feel as new and special. If we didn't have that old one, this would probably be a lot higher for me, but a nice bells and whistles, a nice upgrade. However, coming in only at number 8 in my top 10 countdown. Next up at number 7, we are seeing a theme here as we got another fan channel exclusive, and this time comes from the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a big figure, so you know I'm in on that. It is coming in at number 7. It is Drax, a big, big Drax. Very apocalypse feeling, I guess, with this one. But a beautiful paint job, very 70s, early 80s inspired, looking really cool. And the crazy thing with Drax is a lot of people do not think of Drax like this. They, of course, think of Batista in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But this one feels really good. I love how it feels in hand. It's one of those figures. Beautiful looks to it, and it definitely fits in your cosmic shelf and all that. And like I said, fan channel exclusive 2-pack this year here, but a very, very cool one, and I'm a sucker for big figures, you guys do know. So Drax making the list, coming in hot at number 7. Next up in our top 10 Marvel Legends comic book editions is we're at number 6. And number 6 is another one of those upgrade re-release figures we got in 2023. And this is a figure that eluded me from back in the day. Been playing that long game, and I finally said, long game no more. I'm getting this one. And once again, a fan channel exclusive 2-pack as we start building out our Squadron Supreme with a favorite of mine, Hyperion. A very, very cool looking one here. Really like the looks. I've liked it for a long time. Got a little different head sculpt on this one. That's the only downside of this figure for me, but I love the kind of Superman inspired, of course, Squadron Supreme. We've been building out that team in 2023, and we're got the final touches coming very, very soon to the channel, so make sure you do subscribe to check out Power Princess unboxing and review. But a very, very cool one. Going to be really cool when I get this whole team together on one shelf together. But a very cool one, of course, Marvel Legends, or Marvel, I should say, their answer to the DC Justice League is Squadron Supreme in a lot of ways. But this one was a cool one back then, even cooler now with the pinless joints and all the upgrades. Even cooler now with the 2023 release, if you ask me. So Hyperion coming in hot at number 6. We've reached the halfway point in the countdown. Make sure you get your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. Make sure you put them in order as well. The hard, fun, and challenging part. But here we are, number 5. And number 5 going to be high on a lot of people's. Middle of the road for me. I really do like this figure. There's just 4 of them I like a little bit more. And we'll get to those, of course. But coming in hot at number 5, a big deluxe figure. Another fan channel exclusive. That's where all the fun is this year, apparently. It is the Blob, of course, a classic X-Men villain, and another one of those upgraded figures that I did not have the old school Build-A-Figure. It was on the long game list, never get around to it. Now I don't have to because I got this Blob, and this Blob came with 2 different heads going on for it. A big, bulky character. You know me, I love a big figure, especially a big X-Men related figure. And that's what we got here with Blob. But a very fun figure, a very cool figure. I don't know if they could have improved it a whole lot for me. It's just a fun figure, and it's very high on the list. Number 5 is nothing to sneeze at. We probably got almost 100 Marvel Legend characters probably in 2023. I can see it being higher, and I can't really argue it because it's your list. But he's coming in at number 5 for me for my best of 2023 list. Next up, we're in the final 4 of our Marvel Legend countdown here. Number 4, I don't know if this is going to be on a lot of lists. This could be a controversial pick, and this is a character I'd heard of but don't really know a whole lot about. But man, oh man, did this figure blow me away. And it's coming in at number 4, even with some limitations, even with some challenges for this figure. What are we talking about? We're talking about Marvel Legends. We're talking about the Orb. Oh my gosh, give me a guy with a big eyeball as a whole head. I'm here for that all day. Then you throw an Evil Knievel inspired outfit on him. Man, that's what I'm looking for. So very cool, playing a lot of hits here for me. Love the head, love the body. Got a little space ray gun. Of course, I did talk about some of the limitations of this one. A little bit too gummy on the joints, if you ask me. And then, of course, it's a very old body style that really shouldn't be doing anymore, but we're still getting it from time to time. But, of course, no pinless joints on this one either. But even with those limitations, this is one of those figures we always talk about. People walk through and look at a collection, and there's certain figures that catch your eye, no pun intended here, but the Orb is definitely one of those. He always captures my eye when I walk into my office and I look at that shelf. He's always the first thing I notice, and I tell you what, that is the definition of a cool figure, or at least an interesting figure. And even with some challenges, he's coming up way up high in the list. At number 4, Marvel Legends, the Orb. Countdown rages on to the number 3 spot, and the number 3 figure, man oh man, talk about childhood nostalgia, and that's one of the things that carried this so high up on my list. Now this is a figure that was part of a 2-pack once again. It did go to clearance at a lot of places, but we are celebrating the Avengers here in 2023, and this was part of those Avenger 2-packs that went to Target primarily, but man oh man is this a cool one. And like I said, nostalgia running high. We're taking it all the way back to the Secret Wars. We're talking to the 2-in-1 Doctor Doom. Now this is by no means a classic Doctor Doom. We've got better Doctor Dooms as far as that look in the Marvel Legends line, but this goes back to the Secret Wars toy line of the 80s. Now, I had a few of those figures. I had Doctor Doom, I had Dr. Octopus, I had Captain America, I had that Tower of Doom of Doctor Doom. I had a few things out there, and I did merge those and played with those with my Kenner superpowers back in the day. But that Doctor Doom was such a fun figure that I absolutely loved when I was a kid. And this just really feels like that. Obviously upgraded here to 2023 technology. You add an extra head, a beautiful head sculpt over here. I ended up buying a second set on clearance just so I could get another one of these. Pretend this is a Doom bot. Pretend this is the real Doctor Doom. Love that he has the mask faceplate there, looking very cool. Like a young Cobra Commander, I was once a man. Something like that. But man, this Doctor Doom just reeks of childhood nostalgia for me. Just a cool one. I can't help but smile when I do see this on my shelves and in my collection. And that's why he's coming in so hot at number 3. Dangerously close to the end of the list here. We're at the number 2 spot in my Marvel Legends comic book countdown for 2023. And the number 2 selection goes back to 2022 when I did that Most Wanted Marvel Legends countdown video. This was at the top of that list. This is something I really, really wanted to happen in 2023. I don't think I had anything to do with it. I think it was all a coincidence, of course. But man, I'm here for coincidences if it equals a number 2 spot in my countdown. Who are we talking about? We're talking about from the Starjammers. We're talking about my boy Corsair. Absolutely love Corsair. I loved it back in the day in the comic books. I loved it, of course, from the X-Men animated series. Just an all-timer of a character, and then finding out it's Cyclops' dad. Even cooler. A lot of fun playing days with the old Toy Biz version of this when I was a kid. So I was very happy. Bring on the rest of the Starjammers. We talked about Chode. We talked about him in our greatest Build-A-Figures of 2023 countdown video, so check that one out. But man, I absolutely love Corsair. Love that we got him in 2023. And like I said, let's get the rest of the Starjammers in 2024. I would love to see that happen. But Corsair, an all-timer of a figure. Love the new body style. They just really nailed this one for me. And that's why it's coming in at number 2 in my top 10 list, which leaves only one. Who's coming in at number 1? Well, stay tuned. We're at the number 1 spot. We commence the top 10 Marvel Legends comic book edition for 2023 here in this list. And of course, if you like these lists, you like these things, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as we have so many year-end top 10, top 5 lists to talk about the best of the best in action figures in 2023. And we got a lot more videos to go, and we've already done quite a few. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, poke around, check out the videos going on. And of course, while you're here, don't forget to like the video as well. Giving the old thumbs up always helps out. And put your list in the comments once again. But number 1 is a tough one. It is my favorite comic book character of all time. We're going to have a lot of him in 2024, so I'm very excited about that. But this one really stole my heart and never let go. That happens a lot, I know, but this one really did. And it feels like an old shoe. It feels like we've been there before. A little deja vu like an Iron Maiden, a young Iron Maiden. What is it? It is the X-Men Animated Series line. It is Wolverine. Tough to doubt the power of this Wolverine. New body style, new pinless joints, beautiful claws, beautiful face. It is Wolverine when I close my eyes. Of course, the animated series coming back in 2024, going to be a big year for the X-Men as well. A big year for this line of the animated series. We did see Series 2 just recently announced as well, so we're looking forward to that one in 2024. But this is Wolverine, and we've had a lot of Wolverines. No doubt about it, we got a lot of Wolverines to come, but a classic costume Wolverine right out of the animated series, right out of the comic books. This is what the people want, and there's a lot of people that probably bought this figure. Maybe they're not all in on Marvel Legends, maybe they're not all in an X-Men, but man, they want a Wolverine in their office or something. This is about as good as it does get from the Marvel Legends team at Hasbro as of right now. So a very, very fun figure. Of course, like I said, I'm a little biased. He is my favorite comic book character going back to when I was a little kid. So I'm all in on a little Wolverine action. There's no doubt about it. And that's why he's coming in at number 1 in my top 10 Marvel Legend Hasbro figures of 2023. And once again, I'm going to ask you guys, put your list in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. And don't forget about the Patreon for early access to all the videos here on this channel and my other YouTube channel. 2 channels going on. Tons of content on the Patreon. And best of all, you do support the channel in videos like this. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So, the mighty Wolverine and the rest of the countdown. I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.